Heart Radio. My name is Tebeth and got a great show today. I have wonderful Anayah on with me, and we are going to be talking about how to support yourself when you're going through really difficult or challenging times. You know, we're all going through all sorts of things. You know, it never seems to end sometimes. It's just the way it goes. We get a break and then something else comes. So it's just finding ways, everyday ways that we can look at things differently and just support ourselves in some way. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about. Welcome, Anayah. It's great to have you here again today. So it's always fun, and, you know, who knows what we come out with.
And it's really
so wonderful.
Cool. Yeah, it is wonderful, Tebeth, and it's really cool because we can just flow with whatever guidance we're receiving at the time, whatever people are asking for in the comments. Guys, make sure you're commenting on the Angel Heart Radio Facebook page live stream, so we can make sure that we can see them and include them in the show. And it's lovely to share with you all because, you know, as you know, I've been trying to do a show for over a week, and I'm grateful to be here with Tebeth because I love working with you, Tebeth.
Yeah, thank you. I love it too. And, you know, it just flows. So, and before we go any further, I just need to do some housekeeping. I forgot last time we were on, actually. Angel Heart Radio programs are not designed to replace any legal or medical advice, nor your own sound judgment in any way. We encourage you to trust yourself in whatever you need to do for yourself. Okay, that's done. All right. So, yeah, like there's so much going on for us. You know, do you want to first share some of your, you know, when you've been going through things, Anayah, what it has helped you? You know, different times, different things will help. So it obviously depends on each of us and what's happening at the time, what can support. So what's helped you in the past when you've been?
Well, I can tell you what's helping me right now because I've been really, I've been finding it quite challenging lately. So some of the things I've really come to understand, like talking to friends is so important. I was talking with Tebeth the other day, and you know, she just gave me this little pearl of wisdom, and it was like, I'm like, I can't even think of that, because I can get quite reclusive. I can spend days and days and days at home where I see no one. And oftentimes the most I see someone is like this on camera, but I'm not seeing people in person or actually speaking to them on the phone. So I make sure that I keep close connection. And you said to me, you know, when I sort of feel like that, Anayah, I'll often go out and just do something. I might go to the shops, I might window shop because I see people's faces. And I thought, wow, that was so cool and so important. So I did it that very afternoon. And I came back and rang you up, didn't I? I said, oh my God, that just makes a difference. It was such a simple, obvious thing. And yet it kind of brought me back into being part of the outside world. And it can be challenging because sometimes, you know, people are in lockdown, for example.
Yeah. I can imagine what it must have been like for people in the Northern Hemisphere, particularly in lockdown in winter. It must be so hard. Like, we're so blessed in Australia. We see sunshine pretty well every day of the year. I mean, we do get our overcast days, but not to see the sun and not to be able to go out, how that would have impacted on so much of mental health for people, and anxiety, depression, you name it, would have been that is there. And just to be able to go out, because it's a different energy when you're with people instead of, like, it's great to be able to do Zoom. Thank goodness that, you know, for Zoom and FaceTime and things like that. That's helped all of us in so many ways over the years to feel closer to people, and we can be overseas and have friends, you know, but still that energy where we're together is so different again. And just to get out is such an important thing. So my heart goes out to people who were stuck inside for so long when it was winter, dark, you know, not a lot of sunshine. So going out. And I know when I've been through difficult times in my life and, you know, felt a bit of depression, getting out was the thing that saved me, because it helped me connect. And helped me detach a bit from going so much within myself. And you can get you can do that too much and go over focus on things, and getting out and seeing life is still happening.
Yeah.
Life is still going on, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it teaches you that, to see there's still great things out there, and to look at that, to see people's faces, kids, animals, trees.
Trees.
Trees. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, even just going and sitting in the park, even if, being on my own, I really love. And just to watch people enjoying themselves, I find that so, so enjoyable. And even though I'm not necessarily interacting one-on-one with people, just to be part of that environment, Tebeth, is gorgeous. And it's lovely to see other people enjoying themselves. That brings me joy too.
Yes. And people may not always, unfortunately, people, depending where you are, may not always smile at each other, because there's a fear factor in some ways, which is a shame. You notice when you walk past people, they'll look down or look away or whatever. But just, I'm hoping that this all of, what's going on makes people appreciate each other and smile at each other, not be afraid of each other, to connect. Because it's the lack of connection that's the painful part. It's that we can't connect as well. And we need that. We're a social bunch, humans.
Yeah.
We need it so much. I can understand when you're locked in a house with a family, maybe non-stop, be too much connecting, but at the same time,
I'm tired of connecting with you. I'm going to my
I'm over
room.
connecting with you. Need my space, go into that room.
Yeah, it's so true. And little things like keeping some sort of routine. Some people really thrive on routine. I am not one of them per se. I need some structure and routine, but constant routine gets a bit much for me, I have to say. But other people really need it. It's important to them and they thrive on it. So one of the things that I can recommend, and it's such a simple thing, again, everything we talk about today, guys, is going to be so simple, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Because that's what often makes the difference, are the simple things. So little things like keep your routines going. We all know this already, but for example, if you normally have a book club meeting or a time where you catch up with someone, do it on Zoom, right? Where you can see each other. Make yourself a cuppa. Yeah. Bring a glass of wine, glass of juice, whatever, water, doesn't matter. Whatever it is you would normally do. Do your hair, do your makeup, change your clothes. Those simple little things will make an enormous difference. Yeah.
The stability. Yeah, we all crave, we say we want change, but we're all afraid of change at the same time. So we need a certain amount of stability, and just keeping a bit of a routine can help, but you don't want to get locked in a endless cycle. Then it becomes too, confining. So it's finding that balance of routine and doing different things at the same time, but trying different things. I mean, sometimes you don't get a chance to do things with other people, but say you are in the Northern Hemisphere and you guys will be going into winter now, as we're going into summer soon. We're in spring at the moment. Say you had to be in lockdown, or even just, confined a bit wherever you are, although I don't know if you guys are very confined in the Northern Hemisphere in different places. I think that's opened up quite a bit. But even so, just winter itself, if it's snowing a lot, is confining. Just some simple things you can do yourself without even involving other people, I guess, in some ways, is making sure you bring enough colour into your life, or have it around you, because colour brings in light and life. You want life around you, because if everything's neutral, there's a numbness, and you don't want that. You want to still feel. You don't want to shut your emotions down and suppress everything. So bring life. It's like nature. You want to bring nature in as much as possible to help you feel that connection. And whether that's painting, whether you paint something, or new clothes, or, you know,
Colouring
shift your
in.
furniture around.
Colouring in. Any
Yeah,
of those.
colouring in.
Get your old clothes and rip them up and make a rad rug, you know, if they're not good for anything else.
Yeah.
There'd be lots of different things. And again, it's about those really like stunningly simple things that are so satisfying to Beth.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you are in the position to bring, you know, get some pot plants with flowers, with colour, because nature is so beautiful, and it just reminds you, it connects you, it earths you, it takes on that, the beauty of nature can help your mental, emotional sort of how you're feeling. When you're focused on something like that, that can help you as well. Again, put them in pots if you're in a cold climate, or put them inside, or even if you're not, you know. I've got a lot of pot plants at my front door, or I'm trying to bring more plants inside for the air as well, air quality. But just the plants change the energy of your home in
Very
lots of
quickly
ways.
too. Yes,
And so that, even that is a simple thing you can do yourself. But as you say, your clothes, you need to change them, paint a wall, you know, bring as much light into wherever you are to help you. You want to focus on that energy as much as possible, lifting your own vibration and energy in any way you can. So hi Erin, I just saw you.
Yeah, and Edith's with us as well.
Oh,
hi guys, wonderful to have you with us.
I can only see Erin.
I sent you a text message, by the way.
Is that what I heard?
So, and it's taking those simple steps and doing them on a regular basis that begins to open up, because at first it may not feel like it's going to make any difference for us. And I'd be very interested to hear from you, Erin, and anybody else watching, what steps you take that make a difference for you, so we can share them with others. But it's that old saying, fake it till you make it, because our brain has this amazing way of taking whatever we are doing, seeing, experiencing, including fake smiling, right? Fake laughter. You've heard of laughter clubs. Our brain will still create the chemistry as if we mean it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I've used fake laughing, and I start off kind of like, you know, I feel like Pixie Ann. But after a while, I begin to feel it in my body, and I begin to actually laugh. And even just with that, showing you guys that, I can feel the instant response in my body. It's amazing.
It is, yes. Don't think I've done that, but what I do is, like I was telling you this morning, I was looking at Gary Larson cards. I sat there for ages going through, looking at all these funny cards that made me laugh. And I watch shows, interviews. Graham Norton is my favorite because I laugh so much. And anything that you can do to make you laugh lifts your energy. And you're shifting energy when you do that. You are really shifting energy when you do that. So same as dancing. Even if you think, oh, I'm not a dancer, that's fine. You do it in your kitchen. You just put the music on and you just dance. And it lifts you. You're moving the energy in your aura, your energy field. You're shifting energy in your body. Anything that needs to move. And a lot is held in the pelvic area, sacral area. So a lot of deep stuff, you can move it through that. Your creativity is held in, you're shifting that energy. So dancing, laughing will shift negative emotions. And if that moves stuff, even to make you cry, that it shifts it, all good. As long as things are moving. That's what you just don't want your energy to stay stagnant.
Yeah.
Even if you get angry, that's fine too. It's how you use the energy. I do great housework when I'm really shitty.
And
I
the
get
other
it
thing
done
too,
very quickly, very precisely.
I know, boom, 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 grab a pillow. Take your energy, your anger out on a pillow. This was one of the most brilliant things I learned early on because I had so much anger within me, all bottled up and stored in there. And learning, first I started with a tea towel. Someone said, whack the side of the cupboard. And I went, oh, whack, they said, whack it again. And in the end, I was whacking it. And it was great because I started to realize all of this stuff was coming out of me. And then I began to cry. And afterwards, oh, what a relief. And I got someone actually gave my son a denim mouse with a really long tail. He was a big stuffed one like this. And he named him Max because Max was someone extremely important in our lives and someone he trusted completely. And it was Mash the Bashomatic Mouse. And he used to take all his anger out, his frustration, his whatever was for, what kids are like. They've got a lot in them.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. And I remember one day hearing him going past his room and hearing him say, thank you, Max. You're such a great friend. I can always trust.
That's brilliant.
So there you go.
I've known them as damn it dolls. Damn it. My choice of weapons has been tennis racket on the bed.
Yeah.
You can really get into that.
You can.
And my best one was I had a futon, an old futon. I put a pair of boots on and I kicked it. Unfortunately, I didn't put a little tear in it, but I was able to mend it. But it was very satisfying.
See, guys, this is the thing. It's about, as Tebeth said, it's not having the energy or feeling angry or frustrated or whatever it is. It's what we do with it and how we express it. It's important to get it out in a very safe, healthy way. So we're not taking out on others and we're not shedding all that energy, all over everybody else. Erin says, laughter is great medicine. Sounds shift my energy. Using sound bowls or even just playing music. Sometimes results in shed is a magical release. Also use crystal. I'm a crystal addict. A crystal for every emotion. Tebeth, crystals are amazing, aren't they?
Oh, of course, I adore crystals. They are good, but it's also interesting that some of that is outside ourselves, and it's like allowing it to feel it in our body, what's going on, and get it out that way. Do you know what I mean? Like crystals are great. Always crystals are brilliant, but it's like you need to allow yourself to express if there's anger in there, to be okay with it, that you're doing it, not it's part of who we are. So it's all right to be that. Like we're taught never to, shouldn't be angry, and understand that as you say, you don't want to keep shedding that as you go out, because it's all held within, and people can feel that energy, and then circumstances can bring in chaotic energy when we're angry. We've thought we've dealt with it. It's stuff, it's, contained what we think in our energy field, but it's actually, it goes out. We don't even realize, and these circumstances come to us. So it's really making sure that you feel it in your body to get rid of it. But yes, definitely in a positive way, because it can fire up your will to get things done, to make things happen or change something or stand up for yourself. It's like really embodying that feeling and feeling the power of that energy within us to shift stuff.
Which is great. And I love, Erin, you're right, sounds are so incredibly valuable, important and wonderful. And the vibration, the way we feel it is so great. And of course, we're working also with Archangel Sandalphon when we're working with sound. We have all these amazing, your crystals, the angels, with so many benevolent beings, because as we know, crystals are beings. They're alive, and their energy is so powerful and beautiful, because as Tebeth said, it's all support, isn't it? How we support ourselves to experience all the things that we need to experience, and giving
Exactly.
ourselves permission to feel that sadness or that anger in a way that, which can be frightening, especially if you've got a lot of it inside of you.
Yes.
Like I used to have. I still have anger. I mean, don't get me wrong, apart from the halo that you can see shining above my head.
There it is.
You know,
I can see.
it used to be very scary for me, because I was scared that once I stopped, I wouldn't be able to stop.
Mm.
So if you're in that position, you just need to be in a really safe place.
Yes.
If you've got a lot in you, it's not necessarily a good idea or a healthy idea to begin that journey on your own.
No, definitely need support on that. Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
So, you know, and we've got Philip. Now, Philip is here on every third Tuesday in Australia, which is every third Monday in the USA. And Philip is amazing, I have to say. And you'll find him at Rogue Therapies on Facebook and roguetherapies.com. And Philip is brilliant because he always is open to anyone sending him a private message if you need a helping hand. He's very accommodating and very gracious and just so lovely. So, oh, look at this. Erin says, I see that halo. Oh, you've got your halo seeing eyes on.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I love it. Thank
Exactly.
you.
Well, you know, speaking of sounds, you know, sounds can take you to some very high levels as well, depending. Yeah, that can be such, as Erin says, such a support where those things can take you. They can take us so many places with that. So sound, I mean, it's not just music. It's when you understand about sound and how that affects the body, how that can shift you in so many ways. Sound is such a powerful medium and can take you to those heavenly places. You know, if you're touching that every day, if you get to do something like that every day, even for a short time, that's going to help you as well, to, you know, create healing, you know, support, whatever you need, it will certainly do that as well, for sure. So, you know, there's a lot of things you can combine at the same time to help you with that as well, definitely. What else? You know, imagine setting yourself up, you know, say you've got a little garden, you've got this little magic garden, you know, you've got some music going, you've got the light, you've got, you know, you've got essential oils, they're wonderful support as well. You know, do some meditation, music, you know, certainly a lot you can do with that to help you. I guess it's doing something every day, some form of nurturing support for yourself is the thing. And that can be even just in your thoughts, you know, in support of yourself, what you're saying to yourself. What's wrong? I can see you. Can't hear you.
I was commenting and sharing. So I muted myself. Asking for help is so important.
Yes.
Asking for help. Now, I have a wonderful book that I want to share with you all. This book, I just can't even tell you how amazing it is. Okay, now let's see if you can see that.
Yeah, you can. Yep.
Can? Okay.
Yep.
This little book is a treasure, basically, an absolute treasure. And it's called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy. You'll find it online. You'll find it in the stores. This will be one of the best gifts you'll ever get yourself, I reckon. It is full of simple, beautiful, profound wisdom. Now I'm going to put myself back on camera because I want to make sure that I'm seeing you. I love this because this is the one I wanted to show you. And look, it's opened to the page. Don't you love it when that happens? Woohoo.
Yeah.
What is the bravest thing you've ever said? Asked the boy. Help, said the
Mm.
horse. Oh, and just look at that. And that is a brave and courageous and wonderful word. When we ask for help, we open ourselves to so much possibility. And sometimes help can come from a highly unexpected place. It might come from a stranger. Our dear friend, Chevelle, who now resides in spirit. I don't know whether you remember this story, Tebeth, or whether you were with us that day, and he was telling me he needed some guidance from the universe, and he felt prompted to go for a walk, and he knew he would find a piece of paper with guidance on it. Whatever the words were, that was his guidance. And I don't remember what the words would be. He found the paper. It was exactly what he needed. I don't think it even matters what the words are because they were for him. So it's
I do remember that.
Yeah, remember that?
Yes,
He was
I do.
cool. I mean, I remember he was catching the bus about 15 minutes away to a big shopping centre. And so the ride probably took about 40 minutes. And I said to him, darling, let me know if I can drop you, I will. He said, oh, darling, thank you. But no, he said, I sit on the bus. It's air conditioned. I see all the lovely faces. I see all the people that we pass and the gardens and the trees. It's a wonderful experience. Oh,
Yeah.
God,
yes.
He was amazing. He is
He
amazing.
was. He is amazing. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So, whereas I'd be on the bus going, oh, God, I wish I didn't have to take the bus. I wish I could drive. I wish, because I don't find it very enjoyable.
I know. Yes.
It's a gratitude factor.
It is how we look at things. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's certainly, in my own life and with clients, shifting your perception about things, that can change a whole situation so totally, how you look at something. People come for all sorts of reasons, and then you can talk to them and get them to see something different. And you can see your face can change, your whole energy shifts. So it's all very much about how we see things and feel about things. And maybe we have a tunnel vision about something. And if you can start to open that up, changes everything. Totally and utterly. Yeah. Completely, I just noticed Erin put painting helps. Erin, that was my next thing I was going to talk about. Being creative is such a massive thing to change how you feel, and it doesn't have to have an outcome. That's the thing with being creative or painting or whatever form of creativity you choose. It doesn't have to make anyone else happy. It's your expression, and the more we express who we are, it makes such a difference to your life, and it starts to change things for the better. You tend to accept yourself more. You're more at peace. You can see things differently. It's an amazing thing. Creativity is totally linked to spirit. I mean, it's just who we are. So yes, Erin, she gets into a meditative state when she's created. Yeah, and feels lighter afterwards, and it does shift your mood. I mean, I go to art class, every week, and you're just so focused on what you're doing, you let everything else go, and that's the trick. Letting, just even for a short amount of time each week, if you can let your fears go or your worries or whatever it may be, then that will shift whatever you're going through. That will help you detach and maybe look at it a bit differently to whatever challenge you've got going on. I mean, it doesn't make things perfect. There is no perfection in life with what's going on. We're all going through massive change, and we're being taken to such depth now, and it may even go further. So the ability to do this, being adaptive actually, is one of the things that will help you with any challenges that you go through. It doesn't matter who you are, how much money you have or don't have, what level of power or fame or fortune or not. This is I think I've said this before, this is your superpower. Being able to adapt. So
And it's a kindness to ourselves. It's such an act of unabridged kindness to give ourselves a break. You know, it was my dad's birthday the other day. Had the most awesome experience. And I suddenly realized at the end, in the afternoon, that I'd forgotten. I had forgotten it was my dad's birthday, and my first instinct was to feel guilty about it. And then I stopped and I thought, how do I feel? Because that's one of the biggest questions we can ever ask ourselves. How do I feel? I feel such relief and gratitude that I'm not missing him so terribly today and crying. And I was crying a little bit when I was writing the post I shared, but it wasn't the same kind of tears. It was tears of pure gratitude for this wonderful man who's my father. I'm going to cry now. And, you know, all the lessons that I've learned with him. And so many of you were so incredibly kind and gracious in the way that you responded to the post. So it's the reaching out with heart. Look, I can create something on Facebook, for example, and think, oh, people will love this. It'll inspire people to feel great. And no one will even know it's there, right? But when I don't go to that place and don't share to have an outcome, but I share with the intention of sharing from my heart, it's a completely different experience. So the universe is teaching me constantly the way to live that brings me nourishment and makes me feel fulfilled.
yes.
So, and not everybody can express themselves. And I can hear someone saying or thinking that right now. It's so true. And I understand that and appreciate that. But it's finding somehow the courage within ourselves to share anyway. When I first started this journey with the angels, I struggled to write in a birthday card. I didn't know how to express what I was feeling. And I'd ramble on and on and on and on, trying to express myself, or I'd simply say happy birthday. And it was working with the angels. They taught me how to tap into that part of myself. So you guys also have your own benevolent team of angels and guides and spirit guides. And there are so many amazing beings who come from the light here to assist us. But we have to invite them in. So are you inviting divine and benevolent help? I always ask for divine, benevolent beings, if I'm not directly talking to the angels, who come from God or creator or, you know, unconditional love.
Yes, who are working for your highest good.
Yeah. So, because they are always working for our highest good, right? Because they come from the light and from creator's heart, there isn't anything else. This is what I find so incredibly exciting. There is nothing else but that love. And it is unconditional when it comes from a beautiful being like an angel or an archangel, for example. So begin to tap in. I've got another page on Facebook that you guys might like. It's called Angel Light 777, which is the name of my website. You can find that. But on Facebook, it's Angels Guidance. And I love sharing the angels' knowledge, wisdom, and compassion everywhere I go, basically. I mean, let's face it, Tebeth. And it's great. So, and it doesn't have to be my page. It can be anyone that you feel really connected to, that makes you feel nourished and loved and supported, and isn't asking you, say amen and share. You know, say yes if you agree. Personally, it's like, well, I don't want it to be conditional. That's why there are no ads on my website. There haven't been since 2007. That may change one day, I don't know, but so far it hasn't, because I want the giving to be unconditional for you. Beautiful.
Yeah, I guess it is something doing something that is unconditional, yeah, without any, that in itself is a joy. That's something that makes you feel good in yourself. Helping someone, being kind, yeah. It doesn't have to be huge, just even a smile towards each other, you know.
And even if
going
people
out,
don't smile back,
yeah, exactly. It doesn't
anyway.
matter.
Do it
Because
anyway.
that energy of yours goes out somewhere.
Yeah.
It goes to something, it just adds to the world. So even if no one else can around you, you just do it, because that adds to your energy and that expands your energy, and that goes out into the world and beyond.
And it touches people it touches people's hearts, doesn't it, Tebeth, in a way that we may never know and they may never show.
That's right.
But the thing is, I'm trying to remember what the angels told me about this once. It's floating around, but I haven't grasped it yet. But the thing is, sometimes people don't experience a lot of kindness in their lives.
No.
And sometimes kindness can be met with distrust, and that's that has to be okay for us. Do it anyway. Smile at a stranger anyway. Send the support out energetically if you can't do it physically. Maybe, you know, with physical distancing, maybe with lockdown, maybe personal preference. You don't have to rush up and hug strangers. I mean, that just would not be cool.
No, I don't think I would like that.
That might be a little bit invasive.
You don't always want to give your energy, but you know, even if it's not just people, even if it's not just people will receive that energy. Animals, you know, animals, insects, trees, nature itself responds to it's just, they're all sentient beings, so they will receive that energy also from you, and you get that back. I mean, of course, being in nature is another thing to support and nourish yourself so greatly. We need it, we're part of it, so get into nature. But yeah, your loving energy will, or just your own energy and just appreciation of nature and your care for nature will come back away in some way, just doing that simple act. You know,
the simple things again. It doesn't have to be anything huge. I noticed on Saturday, I think it was, oh, look, I get so excited sometimes in the morning. So I get an idea for my website or a way to improve a page. The angel numbers page. Arlene, hello.
Hi, Arlene.
Arlene's in Pennsylvania. Wonderful to have you with us, darling.
Yes.
The angel numbers page was one I really resisted building when the angels asked me to, because they asked me to not copy and paste, but to redo everything. They would channel they would tell me what to write and I would write it. And I said to them, surely to goodness, there are enough angel number sites on the website without me putting one on my page. It's a lot of work, you know. And they quietly just kept bringing the guidance through. So I said, right, I'll do it. And I want to give a big shout out to Shami Devan, because she is such a beautiful woman in India. Shami, I wish I could remember the name of your page. I'm sorry, I can't. She shared it with some of her friends. She wrote to me, she said, this is exciting, Anayah, because we don't have access to a lot of this in India. Honestly, guys, it is the #1 destination. People from all over the world flock to that page. I would say probably well over 90% of the traffic on my website goes to that page. So it showed me that putting that time and effort in was so important that I couldn't see at the time, right? So it's a kindness. Doing that, I came instead of, oh gosh, it's so much work. I thought, okay, if I do this with kindness, it will be, and it was actually fantastic, right? To do it. It really expanded me as well. And Tebeth's the same with your work. What you do, you come with kindness with it. So Tebeth's website soon will be tebeth.com. but right
Go
now is Thrive Therapies.
therapies.
.au.
Yes, I've got to change that. So that's going to be new.
So, you know, no matter what you do, which way you go, you'll find her. But it's coming to people through the heart space with care, consideration, and kindness. No matter what we do, the stranger in the street, someone that seems to be struggling, just see them surrounded in love. It makes such a difference that we don't even know about, and we may never. But when you put kindness into the world, that energy reverberates through time and space forever. That is a beautiful thing. Yeah.
It's like, I mean, this has been said before, when, you know, coming from kindness will, and this is happening more, which is great. Doesn't matter when we're seeing someone and ourselves, we have to view ourselves in this way as, you know, a small child. We didn't come in, you know, if someone's acting out in a certain way, which isn't great, they're wounded. Like, we all get wounded in some way. So see them as their, you know, their inner child. They weren't always like that. So you can have compassion. Whatever is going on, there is certainly a lot behind that always. You know, this, my work has taught me this every day, you know, and in my own experience, there's a young child behind that. That's how we all come in the same way and leave the same way. It's where love's been abandoned or lost or distorted or never given. All that creates us, and it's how we go about it, whether we can get past that and still give out that love. That's the power that we are all learning about and hope to embody fully.
That is the power. I love how you said that. That's beautiful, Tebeth. Thank you.
Yeah, it's,
you know,
it's
guys,
not always easy to do.
Oh gosh. Oh, you know, spend you know, time with a young child who's acting out. So it's very difficult. But you know, Arlene says, just imagine all the good vibes that could be put out. And Arlene, all the good vibes that are being put out into the world, spirit,
Yeah.
you're doing it right now. You are amazing. And I just want to share something here with you. Hang on, sip of tea first. Oh God, I love my tea. I want to share something with you because it's very easy. Kindness, beautiful messages to Beth and Anayah.
Thank you, Erin.
Sometimes, you know, it's very easy to take what we see in social media and not see behind it. So, as many of you know, I posted about my dad's heavenly birthday, and then I posted an album, which I very rarely do, of some photos of my dad. And some of you wrote absolutely beautiful things, and they could see the kindness and love in Dad. They could see his beautiful smile. You knew Dad, Tebeth. He was lovely. A lovely, loving man. But I just want to say that behind that for Dad, you know, it's not about canonizing someone once they're no longer in body. You know, Dad really struggled throughout his life. He grew up in a time where there was so much pressure on men to never show emotion, to always be strong, you know. And I spent a lot of my life believing that my dad didn't love me, that I was never going to measure up. I wasn't good enough. And it was my sisters that he really loved. Anyway, there was a time you could not put Dad and I in a room together and we'd be arguing within seconds because we were so alike, right? And then I started working with the angels. When I started working with the angels, I said to them, I really want to heal my relationship with my father. And they helped me so much. And they got me to write a letter to Dad, which I did. And I actually posted it. And one day I was at his place, at his home, and he was showing me something on the computer that was way over my head. But he looked up over his shoulder at me, and I was sort of looking over, and I saw him as if for the first time. It was like that veil had actually dropped away. I said to him, "You are a beautiful, loving man, Dad, and I love you." And it was the first time I had ever been able to really, truly, simply speak from the heart to Dad.
Yeah, it takes time.
And from then
It
on in, I
takes-
began to realize that Arlene says, what I do to get to argue with my dad again. I know,
Yeah.
right? But it took me a long time to realize that I wanted Dad to love me in a certain way. And it wasn't until I was ready to let go of that and see the way he already loved me. And once I was willing to do that, I was astounded. I remember I moved 20 times in 2 years. 20. Could never keep me still. Dad was there every single time with his trailer. I'd ring him up and say, "Dad, I'm moving this weekend. Can you come and bring the trailer?" He'd always say, "Yep, no worries." See how people really love you. Not the way it's
you
looking
expect it.
past that, Tebeth. It's seeing beyond that. It's going deeper to understand it's already there. It just might not feel like it is. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I guess, using time where you may not be able to do too much is really look at your relationships. What we all have a certain perception of what we think went on, and it can be very different, or as our perceptions of our parents. And look, my dad died 40 years ago. I'm trying to even remember what it was like to have him around. My mother died over 20 years ago. So yes, we can have certain perceptions of what went on back then, but it's really using the time to work out what you feel and what you believe and what was real and what wasn't.
Yeah.
So yeah,
exactly. Because it's only been 4 years for me. 40 years is a very long time. A very, very long time. It's most of your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kindness, looking at the reality of what is and what was and what wasn't. So yeah.
And it's a journey of
journey.
courage. It is such a courageous journey. Again, if you're very, very finding it very challenging, please don't undertake it on your own. It can be very overwhelming.
Yes, you need support. We all need support somewhere. I mean, even if you can't afford somewhere, I don't know what it's like in other countries. We have Lifeline here. We have people can
Beyond
help, obviously.
Blue.
Beyond Blue, yes.
Is another one.
I don't know where in the States, but in other countries there would be somewhere. Just reach out. Don't do it alone, because that's the worst journey, thinking that you can't reach out. If you reach out to people, there's something wrong with you, you're weak, you shouldn't do that. We all need to reach out. Maybe that's actually the lesson that you need to learn, is to reach out and ask for help. I mean, that's been part of mine as well, reaching out. I mean, all of us have different levels of that. So not feeling alone, is the thing. That we think we're alone. It feels like we're alone. And the more, I guess, you start, as you said earlier, connect with those in spirit, we realize we're actually not, they're there, but we just can't see them. So the more we connect, and we will feel them, we'll see the signs they send us. They're trying to say, "Hi, we're here."
Absolutely.
We don't see it. Yeah.
And it's a doorway, and that door expands and expands. And Erin says, "Thank you for sharing that, Anayah. I'm very grateful when you share such personal stories. It makes a difference." Thank you, Erin. That means a lot. And when I created Angel Heart Radio at the urging of the angels 11 years ago, I didn't realize I'd be sharing so much of my personal journey. No idea. If I'd have known, I can tell you right now, I would never have started, because it's taken a lot of courage. It's easy now for me to share. I've had a lot of practice. So that means a lot. Thank you. And I guess too, when I speak about these things, Erin and Tebeth, I know I'm speaking on behalf of others who don't have a way of speaking about it to someone like I can, right? Maybe people are alone, maybe they don't have the words, maybe they're not sure how they feel. There's lots
Yeah,
of
a lot of
different
people
reasons to
think,
death.
yeah, a lot of people think they'll come talk about one thing, but there's all this other deeper stuff under there, and they just need to be encouraged to bring that out because they feel they can't share it, that there's somehow wrong for feeling that way, or they can't just bring it out because it can open Pandora's box, and that can be a confronting thing as well. So, but it's needed, and there's always an opportunity somewhere to let that out and not to be embarrassed by it or feel any shame no matter what's going on. That will keep people, holding things in. Definitely. I know I sat on things for many years and you're not even consciously aware of it.
That's right. My young grandson, Bailey, was upset about something and had a great opportunity, and I spoke to him. He was really deeply upset. Their guinea pig died. He found her. And he's such a sensitive, and he was so deeply upset. And I could see him trying to hold back the tears. And I said, you know what, Bailey? I said, he's such a beautiful soul. When you knowing why you feel sad is so important, because otherwise all of us can do it. We might hold those feelings inside to try and feel something better. And then over the years, after we do that for a long time, we don't know where the sadness comes from anymore. Right now, in this moment, you know where your sadness comes from. And that's a really good thing. It will help you. And I was just so grateful to be able to share that with him, Tebeth. I know you do exactly the same thing with your grandchildren.
Yes.
It can help them identify their core feelings.
Yes.
This is a blessing for us because we've done so much of our own personal work over the years, both of us, some of it together.
Yes.
It gives us, it empowers us to share like we are now with our grandchildren, with family, friends, and just be there for each other. How many times are we there for one another?
Yes.
So many times.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's asking people questions too, because sometimes, people, the usual thing, how are you? Oh, yeah, good. How are you? Oh, yeah, good. It's like being able to be really honest with someone, will open more doorways, like asking more questions than just the surface ones for someone, or sharing something for yourself with someone. Being really honest and vulnerability is a big thing.
Yeah.
It's
safe vulnerability. Yeah.
It's
perfect.
But it's a brilliant thing. It's a brilliant thing. That's the thing, because it makes you authentic, and then you can actually really accept yourself more, because sometimes we hide all these things about ourselves. We think it's unacceptable, or people will judge or whatever. But once that's out, you go, well, okay, I'm okay then.
And you feel better. I feel
You
a lot
do.
better.
And if you have no one, talk to your dog or your cat.
Exactly.
Or a plant.
Or even, even a photograph of someone is a powerful thing, because especially if you can't connect with them personally, maybe they're in spirit, maybe they live a long way away, but your heart connection is there, and you get that sense of, well, you might get that sense. First of all, you might feel silly, but that's okay. That will pass. And you know what another powerful thing is? Speaking to yourself in the mirror.
Yes.
Speaking to your own.
Yes.
Well, this is tough work if you've got a lot of stuff around it. But I remember when I first started Louise Hay's mirror work, and have to look at yourself and tell yourself you love yourself. It's like, that is never going to happen for me. And I couldn't do it. I tried so hard and I couldn't. I was just too full of fear and regret, pain, anger, sorrow. So I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, I want to love you.
Mm.
And that was my beginning. And it was a great beginning.
It's very powerful work, that when you can not look away or look down, or when you can truly look into your eyes and just go, yeah, I can accept that about myself, then no one can hurt you then. So it's more self-love.
It is self-love,
Yeah.
self-care. So true
Yeah.
to Beth. Louise says, hi,
Hi,
Louise.
Louise.
Lovely Louise.
Thank you.
Gee, guys, you make such a difference in our world.
Yeah,
and in
just
your world.
sharing there. Yeah, thank you.
So just a quick recap, simple things. It doesn't have to be complicated. Play music. Look, these are all going to be things you've already heard about. You already know. Play some music. Audio books. I am loving audio books. You know, it's simple things like reach out to a friend if you can. If you can't, you say you have no one, reach out to us.
Yes.
This is part of what we do. We're not here to rescue you, to sort you out, but we can hear you. And people have written to me, and it's good to be able to write back and say, I'm sending you care and love. You know,
You're not alone.
You're not alone. So laugh as much as you can. Find something silly to watch is a great way of doing it. If I
Brilliant.
Yep. Talk to a photo. If you can't connect with someone, write a letter. You don't have to post it. What else did we talk about, Tebeth?
Even just see something good about you. Instead of focusing on what's not, you don't like, see the things that are great about you. Doesn't matter what it is. We've all got good things, gifts, abilities, what you're good at. That in itself, what you appreciate about yourself, and look at that every day.
Look at this, guys. This is a diary, a journal, which I have never ever written in. But I tell you what, a friend sent this to me. Can you see it?
Yes.
I have gotten so much pleasure out of this journal. And it says, love is not blind. It only sees what matters.
Oh, brilliant. Yes.
Something small like this makes such a difference. It really does. She waited a really long time to be saved, until one day she decided to save herself. It was a very good day. This is my story. I wanted to be saved so desperately throughout my life. You've got no idea the lengths and measures I went to looking for someone to save me. I would have done anything to feel loved, and I did.
Yeah.
So don't be judging yourself, guys, and certainly don't look at us and go, oh, they've got it all together. You have no idea the length that I have gone to in my life, only to one day, finally, remember, I can learn to love myself if I want to hard enough, and I really wanted to. And
just remember that the people who are the hardest on you are your teachers about how much you need to learn to love yourself. It's on a soul level. It's for some reason they're there as a mirror where you haven't loved yourself. And this is for everyone. This is my lesson, everyone's lesson. It's where somewhere this had to be mirrored back to you by these people, their teachers, how much you need to love yourself more, and just accept yourself. Even if start with that, even just acceptance is enough, let alone love. Once you accept yourself, then you can start to appreciate and love yourself more fully. Even start there if you find the other too hard. Like, you know, it does take time. And look, it's taken me time and I'm still going.
And we'll never stop. We'll never stop. And remember, there are no victims here. And that's a big one. I was not keen on that at all for a very long time, because some pretty god-awful things had gone on in my life. And I could not understand that statement, but I do now.
Yes.
You know, and it was Carolyn Mace, or Miss Mice, listening to her one day when she said, the other side of victim is victorious. And that was a key. And I grabbed that key and I thought, right, this is a key I can do something with.
Yes, exactly. For
Yeah.
every opposite, like we either focus on, like there's love and hate. That's all in one energy. It depends what we're looking at, what we're focused on. It's all one. So
Yeah, they say there's a
yeah,
very fine line, and it's true in
there
my
is,
experience.
most
And as you
definitely.
say, it's where the polarity you're going to, you know, are you up there or are you down there? And being a Piscean, I can tell you guys, for any Pisces listening, one of my biggest journeys has been, because it's those incredibly ecstatic heights, but then there are the terrible gut-wrenching lows.
Yes.
And it's learning how to swim. So you've got highs and lows, but they're not those. And the ecstasy comes in a completely different way. And it's like amazing.
So also remember, like we're working through things that are not just from this life either. Ancestral, patterning, all those sorts of things. So sometimes our emotions can be up and then down. You think, wow, I think I'm maybe bipolar or something with the emotions and things that go on. But sometimes you don't know where this is coming from, but just know it's not just this bit of you. There's other bits of you that you've come here to work with and to accept and integrate. So this is part of the journey. It gets a bit complex and how to navigate it all, but in the end, it's just about love and acceptance.
Yep.
In the end. Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Definitely.
Here
Very
we
simple.
go. Arlene says, I know we've got to go because we're past time
Yes,
now. Arlene says,
are.
I'm an Aquarius on the cusp of Pisces.
I saw
Talk
that.
about a roller coaster. Oh, darling heart. Totally
Look,
hear you. But
hey, Cancerian with Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon. Hello.
yeah, yeah. And when we look at our charts, I'm astounded at the amount of water I've got in my chart,
Me
that
too.
I feel things so deeply like you, Tebeth. But it's learning how to be okay. And that's the journey, everyone. That's why we're so grateful to be here with you on Angel Heart Radio. And that's what Angel Heart Radio is dedicated to. And that's you. So thank you for being with us. And listen, if you want to find the show guide, it's really simple to know who's on, when we're on, how it all happens. You can either go to angelheartradio.com. If it comes up and says it's not a safe site, I've done something a bit screwy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I will get that fixed. But angellight777.com, it's all there. That was the beginning of the beginning, right? Go to angellight777. You'll find absolutely everything there. Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Arlene. Thank you, Louise.
Thank you, ladies. And thank you, Anayah. Yeah, it's been fun. It's gone so fast. And thank you, everyone. And I'll be back next fortnight. Looking forward to being back. And yes, we will see what will.
And I'll be with you at the end of the week. Don't forget to come join me at the end of the week.
Yes. Cool. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.